Has anyone here ever borrowed a neighbor's lawnmower or, you know, maybe borrowed a car to go do a chore or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have.
Yes.
You're all members of the sharing economy. We've given it a name. So the sharing economy is best explained probably by this little video here.
Questions?
Whoops. Give me this. There we go. I think that's as loud as I can get.
You did that?
Feel free to get up and dance.
You did that? That's pretty amazing.
No, I just took it off YouTube. You can find anything on YouTube.
But you have to know how to
You
take it
can
off.
put together, you can learn how to put together a nuclear bomb on YouTube. I think I told everybody I was having so much fun doing this that I forgot to send out the meeting announcement, so sorry about that.
As long as you had fun.
It was fun. Well, maybe. I know that I am. So I got to thinking about what is the sharing economy? So we mentioned, borrowing a car, borrowing a lawnmower. That's really an example of what they're talking about. It's been around a long time. We've just generally, I think, inherently as human beings are willing to share things with other people. We're taught, to be good sharers when we're young in kindergarten. And these are a few of the things that it works out in the economy. In Boulder in particular, we have 3 to 6 people sharing a house in Boulder just because they want so desperate to live in Boulder. They're willing to pay $600 a month for a 1-bedroom in a house and live together with strangers who hopefully will become friends over the course of time. Share a car, yeah. People even share airplanes. You've probably heard of NetJets, Warren Buffett's outfit. Job sharing has become a big part of how we live our lives nowadays. I think it works particularly well for all of us, but more particularly for women who are making some career choices about having children and working part-time and then get back into the workforce later on. Bartering, that's a big one for me. I swapped a loan for eye surgery one time. Go figure. So I had my eyes cut, radial keratotomy, so I wouldn't have to wear glasses years ago. By the way, I still barter. So if any of you need a loan, you got something I want, let's talk. You don't pay taxes and I don't pay taxes. I love that. So here's a story. In 1979, a little bit after I moved to Boulder, I and a friend of mine, and we were both married, bought a house together. 4 people, 2 couples, bought a house here in Boulder. We really stretched to pay $69,000 for that house, $67,000 for that house when we bought it. And we were so smart. We sold it in 18 months for $89,000. Man, I'm telling you, we knocked a home run. Of course, today the house would be paid for. It's worth about $485,000, and it would rent for $2,200 a month. So don't take your financial advice from me. Go talk to Dan about that. I guess what I would say about real estate is buy it and never sell it. How can we participate in the sharing economy? Well, as a user, there are all of these companies that have monetized the sharing economy. That means to say they figured out how to make money doing it. You may have heard of Airbnb. It's a, have y'all? Anybody not heard of it? Okay, I'm going to take a few minutes. It's a website where you can go and find a place to stay, a nice place to stay in San Francisco, New York, Paris, Rome, anywhere in the world, that's actually a person's residence, or you can find a room, or you can take the whole place. And the company provides the service of taking pictures, vetting the apartment it is, what it says it is, it's in the neighborhood it says, and then they vet you that you're not going to go in there and steal the family silver. And then you pay online, so it's centralized. Similarly for Uber, if you've got a car in a little bit of time, somebody standing at the departure area and the arrivals area in DIA could call up and say, hey, I need a ride to Greenwood Village. And you zip out there in your car and you give them a ride. It's driving Yellow Cab crazy because they have a monopoly here, but it's still going on. Zipcar and we have in Boulder Go Car Share are a situation where the entity buys the cars and then you subscribe to the car rather than owning a car. So what we're talking about here is sharing, not owning, or renting, not owning. So TaskRabbit's kind of interesting, and let me see if I can get this one to go. Should do all that.
I love your videos. Good job.
That took the longest time to do those videos.
So you need to mop the floor, buy groceries, milk the cow, clean the spaceship windows, balance the checkbook, take the lawnmower to the vet, and about a zillion other things. And they all need to be done this morning. And the real bummer is that this stuff takes up the time you could be spending with the people you care about, doing the things you actually want to do. But it seems like the only way to stay on top of everything and have a life is to find another you, or add an extra 8 or 10 hours to your day. But unless you've figured out how to clone yourself or make time stop, that's probably not going to happen. But what if it could? Enter TaskRabbit. TaskRabbit is an online and mobile service that helps you get stuff done, so you can take back your time for the things you enjoy. And just so you know, get stuff done means pretty much anything. Household chores, taxes, coffee delivery, wedding photography, IKEA furniture assembly, whatever. Here's how it works. First, you post your task. Then include all the relevant details, like location, price, and any other important info. TaskRabbit will blast out an SOS to the TaskRabbits in your neighborhood, and as soon as one accepts, you'll get a text or an email letting you know that your task is underway. Then, you're done. It's seriously that easy. And just in case you were wondering, all the TaskRabbits are task pros who go through a rigorous application process, so you can rest assured that they're reliable and trustworthy. Oh, and payment happens through TaskRabbit's super secure site once your task has been completed. Basically, TaskRabbit takes care of all the stuff you have to do, so you've got plenty of time for all the things you want to do, with no cloning or time warping required. So what are you waiting for? Post a task today.
How did you get that to go from
Scroll off and click.
scroll off to the left or any side?
Yeah, just pull off and hit the button. Then do it again.
What a great way to get substitutes for the group. We know you're when you miss more than 2 in a row. Throw 20 bucks in there, say, can somebody be my networking substitute for the networking group? That's brilliant.
You can write it
It's a task, all right?
That's right, exactly. So, who gets
Now,
this?
I have a question.
I'm
Back
going to
to
come
my
back to
question.
questions if you
Okay.
can. We're going to have, in fact, you win a chocolate bar for having a question.
Okay, yeah.
Who gets this? Does anybody here get it?
I get it.
Understand?
Yeah.
Participate? What I was surprised to learn is how widely these ideas are accepted and why they're accepted. And so, just to go back, you saw that almost a third of millennials, that's the 20-somethings, get it. I think that's probably not only just a demographic that grew up in a different world than I did, but they're more economically challenged now. They don't have the job market that they had when I arrived. So they're kind of forced into the sharing economy. But Gen X people, look at that. Even boomers like me, booma booma. It's 15% of us are there. And there are a few reasons why people kind of naturally gravitate towards the idea, though they might not really think of it. Like you borrow your neighbor's lawnmower, that's, really say, oh, I'm participating in the sharing economy. But you are. So these are the reasons: saves you money, good for the environment, provides me for flexibility. You can read it. It's practical. And then the emotional benefits, this is the sizzle, not the steak. This is what makes people really feel good about participating in the sharing economy. And last one, feel like part of a larger cultural movement. You know, I think we're all, in one way or another, at some level, looking for meaning, and being a part of something is important to us. So, why should we care? Well, for me, as a businessman in the mortgage business, I don't want to miss a third of the market. I want to be able to participate in that in a way that's going to bring value to those people and put a few bucks in my pocket. And I got to thinking about that. So what can I, as a mortgage banker, do to position myself to take advantage of that market? And what I thought about was, well, here we are in Boulder. We got all these kids living together. Young millennials living together. And maybe they, between them, have enough money to actually own a house, like I did back in 1979. So how would I go about putting that together? How would I reach out to them? How would I let them know that that's a possibility for them? Well, I'd call up Kate, call up Dave, call up Dan, and I probably would even call up my two banker friends, and I'd say, hey, let's put on a seminar. Let's talk to these people. Let's tell them it's a possibility for them to own a home. And then I'd set about advertising, you know, putting the venue together and all of that. That's just the first thought that came to me. And there are a million ancillary aspects of what I do that could be brought into that sharing economy that I haven't thought about yet. Well, maybe not a million. I mean, what I do is pretty narrowly defined. So, I have a question for you. How would you participate in the sharing economy?